What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna try to button up the silver sedan entirely and just kind of have it pushed off to the side for when we are ready to go to the dyno. It's ready to rock and roll. I am gonna try to get the turbo CRV to tune the same time we do the silver sedan, but both cars just needs a little bit of button up and parts to show up to have everything on hand before I actually call my tuner for a date. While rebuilding the silver sedan, I contemplated on going E85, and with going E85, I want to switch out the hard lines to PTFE-6 because the car might sit for a little while in between. I don't want the E85 to corrode or gunk up the hard line. So with the PTFE, I shouldn't have that issue. And the reason why I kind of want to go E85 is just because the 1000 cc's that was in the car before, I actually sold it to the homie with the turbo CRV. So the injectors that I have that might possibly go into the car is gram 1600s, which is plenty. And the fuel system itself, the fuel pump, the lines and everything, we're set up to make some decent power. But we can't do that on pump gas. So we're gonna do the PTFE lines today with a new filter as well, only just because if I decide to go E85, we're ready for it. If we're not, the PTFE line will run perfectly fine with the pump gas. All right, so I want to show you guys some of the stuff I got from Amazon, literally Amazon Prime next day. And I ordered a couple of things between the silver sedan and the KRX. I don't know what's what here, but let's cut this one first. This has to be the fuel filter, E85 aluminum. Oh, it says right there 10 micron. Yep. So right here we have a new fuel filter. This is a 10 micron. If it's an inline pump, I usually run 100 in the rear and then like a 10 in the front. And because we're in tank, the in-tank fuel pump already has a filter. So this one right here before the fuel rail, this is a 10 micron, and let's see if I can open it for you guys. This is a stainless steel mesh filter. It won't deteriorate like the composite one, and it's much easier to clean. It's one of these guys right here, and realistically I've used the tinier ones and I've never had an issue with it, but with E85 definitely don't want to gunk up the small filter. This kit comes with a bracket right here to mount the filter wherever you need it, and it comes with pretty much two fittings for -10, 2 for -8, and 2 for -6. We're going to be using the -6 for the setup. Not sure why it has Teflon. You don't really need to use Teflon with AN fittings, and the ORB comes with an O-ring, so do not use this for AN. Second box. I ordered two fitting, one for the KRX, one for the silver sedan, so this is the same thing I just shown you guys. And then this right here, Sintly -6, you guys remember we can use this on the turbo CRV when we upgraded the fuel line. So I bought this line kit to have it on standby in case the one that we're going to be using today doesn't fit how I wanted to fit. So we have this just in case we need to build a new line. Last package right here. This is 18mm valve cover breather filter. Okay, so I bought two of these because, you know, it's kind of nice to have one on hand when I need it. And I bought this because the new valve cover for the silver sedan has an open port, and I don't want it to spew oil into the turbo, so we got a filter for it. Filter goes on right there, nice and snug, right? We don't want to push oil into the turbo and then that's going to get sucked up into the engine. Not gonna lie to you guys, man, that filter is a little bit bigger than I had thought, but you know what, it'll work. So the reason why I'm swapping out the fuel filter is because this fuel filter was pissing out fuel, and I couldn't figure out if it was the fitting or whatever. But then when I took off the filter, I realized that the O-ring itself was completely shot, old, deteriorated, and literally ripped in half. So the fuel filter, I've used this plenty of times before. I've made 450 plus with it, but because I don't know what O-ring size and thickness to buy for this filter, I ended up just buying a bigger filter to use, and also to prevent gumming up that little screen that's inside of this little filter. So we're going to be changing it out. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this fuel filter and put it on its bracket. and see if it'll fit in the current spot where the small filter is currently sitting, because obviously this is a lot larger. I want to pop this off for you guys really quickly to show you that little filter screen that's in here. It's literally like the size of a quarter, if anything. And this is the little screen that is in here. Yeah. So the fuel filter is not going to fit where the original small one sat. So it looks like we're going to have to move it into a different location. And I'm going to have to probably use this open space over here to mount the fuel filter on this side. And that also means we might have to change our line, since the feed and the return is on that side. We have this 180 right here, so we might have to change the line setup a little bit, but it's not a big deal. I'm pretty sure I got plenty of line to mess with. So before I figure out where we're gonna mount this filter, I'm gonna run the line first and see how much slack we have to see where we can mount this utilizing that pre-made line right there. So we're upgrading the feed line, which would be this one. We are changing out. And I need to take off the rubber boot back here. Where is it at? Right here. So we can feed the line through. It's just a radiator hose and a zip tie. I'm gonna blow this line through real quick. Make sure it's not clogged up. Looks good. These are both 90s, so it doesn't matter which one goes on which side. Alrighty, so I'm gonna leave this here for right now, and just want to make sure everything's Gucci with this line before we remove this one. Ooh, shit, that's a big ass Black Widow. That is a big Black Widow. Don't play with fire, folks. I think the line's long enough to route on the driver's side to go across to the passenger over the subframe, because I don't want to cross it over the exhaust system, because heat and fuel is not a good mixture. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was a little indecisive about where to run the feed line from the rear to the front. Originally, I was gonna do it on the driver, then I wanted it on the passenger, but I didn't want a crossover, so I just went straight diagonal. Going through the exhaust tunnel, I tucked up as high as possible and using some P-clamps right there. Got one right there, and it's tucked up pretty high. The line goes over the subframe. Sorry, you guys are upside down. But the line goes up the subframe and goes up to the passenger firewall. I feel like I'm gonna have to reroute this line later when we have the viscous coupler and the drive shaft in place, because if you guys don't know, the Freelander viscous coupler is pretty wide, and in order to get ground clearance, you got to tuck it up as high as possible. And to go up as high as possible is probably going to be close to that P-clamp right there. But I guess we'll figure out the fuel line setup when the drive shaft actually goes in. I don't think it'll be a big issue. Granted, we do have some slack, but for the most part, the line is secured underneath the chassis. So the fuel filter, I have it sitting down low right there because I don't want the feed line to be too close to the downpipe. Granted, it's not wrapped in this portion. When I had it up higher, you can clearly see the line is close even if I tuck it towards the firewall. So I'm gonna run it down low just to kind of give it more space and tuck the line more towards the firewall. Right now it's loose, so it's kind of like, you know, more forward, but it should be sitting kind of tucked down that way once I tighten it all up. So I got to figure out how to mount the bracket, and it looks like I'm gonna have to drill the hole on the firewall to put a riv nut through to utilize one of the mounting points right here. And I'm pretty sure one would be sturdy enough, and if need to be, I can always do the other side as well too. But somewhere right there, keep the filter down low, and then probably a 45 maybe, and kind of like curve it around the new feed line to go to the fuel rail. But let's go ahead and drill that firewall. It's gonna be tough. I used to have a Makita 90-degree drill, and I don't know what happened to it. It kind of disappeared over time, I guess. But we're gonna have to drill a hole, put a riv nut through it, secure that bracket. Sometimes this is just how my day goes. It's already nightfall. My cousin, the homies, my brothers, they were all getting ready for the San Jose bike party, which is tonight, and we were just kind of hanging out for a little bit. Also, I did kind of struggle with the filter mounting because I don't have a lot of space to put my riv nut tool right here to kind of, you know, clamp down that riv nut to the firewall. So I did the hack by using like a piece of flat stock to put a bolt through it and then drive it in. But what ended up happening was I've already snapped 2 bolts and 2 riv nuts, and I had to grind them down both times, which explains the paint right there missing. But the third time was a charm. Got the rest of tuna hardware, filter secured, line secured, and it is tucked towards the firewall away from all the hot parts. I also did secure the line in the back with the radiator hose to make sure it doesn't cut the line, and also remove the old unit as well as the old unit that was in the front from the filter to the hard line inside the cabin, which is this short one right here. This is the one for the rear. So this is the line kit we used on Eric's Turbo CRV, and we have an extra 45 right here and a couple of other fittings as well too. We got 2 90s, 2 straights, and I'm going to rob this one right here, and I'm going to take this 90 off since we're not going to be needing this length of a line anymore. I'm going to take this 90 and I'm going to add it to this one to go to the regulator, and then this 45 is going to go to the fuel filter like that. This is going to curve around, obviously a new line, and then we're going to go 45 right there. So it's always nice to kind of plan out your routing before chopping and, you know, jumping the gun here. So looks like all of that should work out for us. .45. We got the new fuel filter installed right there. New feed line going into the rail, and then out of the rail to the fuel pressure regulator, and then the bottom is the return to the tank. This right here is good for E85. Got the ECU hooked up, and I want to check fuel leaks. So we did the line in the rear, no leaks. Fuel filter, no leaks. Line, no leaks. I smell no fuel, no leaks. I think we're looking good. Where's my fuel gauge at? Oh, it's right here. Okay, we did build fuel pressure, so I'm gonna let the car run, and I'm gonna check for leaks once again. I was really hoping to keep today super simple with just installing fuel lines and filter, but it felt like it took forever just to build the fuel lines itself. But nonetheless, we upgraded the fuel system on the silver sedan with some Amazon special filter and the Cently -6 line kit. It's super cheap if you guys want to do it, and it's not that expensive to do the return line as well too. And realistically, instead of buying 2 boxes, you can buy literally 1 box of 20 feet, because I buy my 10s, and you would definitely save a lot of money that way. But I'll be sure to link the parts been used in today's video in the description below. I do definitely need to make an affiliate link with Amazon, because a lot of stuff I've been using lately has been coming from there, but maybe soon, maybe soon. But anyways, I am done for tonight, and I was supposed to move the silver sedan off the driveway to move the KRX up so we can start diving into that car. But I just remembered, because this package showed up today, and I actually need to work on my brother's car again first before I dive into the KRX. So this right here is an oil pan, since his is all messed up and it literally leaks wherever it parks. And I'm also waiting for new rotors to show up in 2 days, I hope. So that means the KRX is on pause for 2 days until we figure out my brother's wagon first before I tear apart my KRX. But it's not a big deal, to be honest with you guys. Kind of gives me a little day to either catch up on something or just take a rest. I don't know. But anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap it up for this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed the progress update on the silver sedan. It is just about ready for the dyno tune. If you guys enjoyed today's progress, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for the KRX going boost build series, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.